Peace and blessings. This is Karev from Heritage Hip Hop. New settings, new faces, new music. Before we get into this, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, and make sure you hit that notification bell and hit all on there. If you're listening to this on Spotify or you're listening to this on Apple Music, make sure you give me a 5-star review. We introduce you to your future favorite artist today, and today we got somebody who not only rides the rhythm, but he makes the rhythm ride the voice. And if the rhythm and the voice collide, that means you got perfect harmony in the sound. Introduce yourself to the people, please.
I go by the name of GM, aka Two Letter King, hailing out of Jersey, by way of New York. I make great music, man. I'm an artist. I like sound. No, we stop. I'm here, man, just to give a great interview with my man Karab, Heritage Hip Hop. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you having me. But yeah, man. That pretty much sums it up, man. I'm GM, aka Two Letter King, man. That's what they,
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. You know what I'm saying?
You too, man.
You're new to Heritage Hip Hop, so let me give you the quick rundown. I do not give the standard interview that everybody else gives because I think everybody else does a shitty job. I believe that if the people cannot connect to you as an artist, they're not going to give you their money. And I believe you are an artist that people should pay money to see or to hear. So with that understanding, please tell me, what is music and why do you love it so much?
Oh, good question. Music to me is like a release. It's therapy. It's something that kind of like took me, it allows me to separate myself from my actual self, if that makes sense. Like it allows me to take myself somewhere else. Like if I'm having one of those days where I'm, just not feeling it, or I'm in a bad mood, or there's things that's been happening, it allows me to take myself out of that realm and go into a completely different realm. Which, a lot of people look at it like music is just something to dance to, something to move to. But like when you really connected to the music, it really is it's therapy for me. Like it's a way for me to calm down. It's pretty much my life. That's what sums it up, but it's something to take me away from what I'm going through right now, or what I may be going through right now, or at the moment. It's just I don't want to say temporary release, because realistically you can write music and listen to music all day. So it's not temporary if you don't want it to be temporary. But like, for me it's just more of a release. It's just therapy. And wait, what was the other one you said? You said what is music and what's the other one? What was the other one?
Why'd you do it?
Why do I do it? Well, music runs in my family. That's starters. Everybody in my family is either a singer, producer, songwriter. My Uncle Boogie was a big hip hop head. He got a couple of joints on his belt. But I do it because I'm good at it. One, because that's if you ain't good at something, you do. I mean, yeah, it's one thing to be good at something, or to not be good at something, and be doing it because you feel like you're gonna be, where you. But like, I'm good at what I do, so why not keep doing it? Like, and it's a positive. It's a way for me to get my voice heard. And it's a way for me to get my story to the people. So that's one thing. The second thing is it's just in me to do it. Like, I love music so much that like I could be sitting down watching a movie or a show, and they'll say like the littlest thing. If I hear a cadence, I gotta make a song out of it. Like, and it annoys my girl, because me and my girl be watching movies, and it be some regular degular type of like script, whatever. Somebody can say something and it be catchy to me, and I'll be like, yeah, I start rapping it. And that's how I know, like, sometimes you like really can't get away from music, because it's you either have it or you don't.
All right, so start right there. Let me ask you a question. You call yourself hip hop, correct?
I call myself an artist. I don't call myself just hip hop. I call myself an artist because hip hop is not the only thing I do. It's what I'm best at. But I can write all types of music. I can write R&B music. I can. If I really put my mind to it, I can write some rock music. I can write heavy metal. I can do poetry. I can do spoken word. There's so many different elements of art that I'm able to attack, and hip hop is one of them. So I feel like I'm not just a hip hop artist. So whenever somebody asks me what do, I don't just say a rapper or a hip hop artist. I say I'm an artist because it sums up, that puts me in a bucket with too many people, and not many people can be as broad as me.
Actually, it doesn't put you in the bucket. Let me ask you a question. What is hip hop?
Hip hop is what? Jazz and blues and spoken word and poetry in one.
Okay.
And disco. We're going to do disco too because we was,
How about it's everything you said plus more? That's why I call you a hip hop artist. See, hip hop is the only genre of music that's alive. Everything else is a style. What does jazz mean?
I don't know what jazz means.
Jazz means how you move your hips and have sex. That's what he got the name from. What does R&B mean?
Rhythm and blues.
How your heart beat and how you tell your story. But you do that with poetry as well. And you can speak it. What's rock and roll?
Same thing.
It's just how you move your body to a certain tempo.
But look, what you said right there, hip hop wasn't the start of that though. We had gospel, we had blues, jazz, all of that. I mean, it's a combination. I would say that it is a combination, but to just say I'm a hip hop artist, because let's be real, the first hip hop artist wasn't singing. Yeah, they took they took things from certain genres of music and put them together, but if we really want to get down to the actual factuals, singing really opened up a lot of doors for us. Singing and poetry, because without singing and poetry, we don't have no hip hop.
The first line ever said in hip hop was "Let there be light."
Okay.
Let me tell you how that connects to you. The spirit, if you look at it in definition, means inspiration. You were inspired to do music. When you came out of your mom, you inspired people to be great. So that inspiration came from something bigger. So you were hip hop from the first time you were conceived, because hip hop is the only thing that lives inside and out of you because it's God's expression. We break things down into styles so we can give somebody an idea of what we do. Now, because you say you can do all that, that's how you manifest hip hop, because that's God within you.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Sure.
What about because from the beginning of time, not even beginning of time, let me not say that, beginning of time, but let's be real, the first hip hop song was taken from another what? What was the R&B song? Disco.
First hip hop song was a praise song.
No, I'm talking about the first hip hop song that they basically stamped as the start of hip hop.
Okay, that's the first. You talking about Sugar Hill Gang?
Sample, yeah, Sugar Hill Gang.
Okay.
They sample it, but without those samples, without those breaks, now you got the question of when does hip hop come about? When does hip hop start? How does it,
I just told you.
I'm saying, okay, but I'm talking about actual physical evidence that they have borrowed, we have borrowed.
I just told you.
Okay.
Because this is how dope you are compared to those who just do music.
I feel like that don't see, we got a little bit of, because I feel like in a broad spectrum, you should be able to attack every, okay, you're a rapper. Okay,
I'll never say that.
We'll take but that's what in my. See,
I got you. Yeah,
I get it. I like you. All right, bet. If we attacking all parameters of music,
yes.
Why are we just putting ourselves in one bucket? If we're responsible for, why don't we just narrow ourselves down to hip hop artists? Like, for instance, we got let's say a cameraman. Let's take it. I'm just throwing this out. Is a cameraman just gonna call himself a videographer, or is he gonna literally bundle everything up into one? Because he does videos, he does photo shoots, he edits. Because you gotta know what you're doing editing. And then when you talk about editing, you talk about using technology. So now we're going into a whole different spectrum of work. You feel me? So
that's right.
I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean. We got a kind of a different understanding of it, but we on the same type of you and you trying to put hip hop is here, and I respect that because hip hop is here. Be real. Every style that's now that hip hop is such a big thing and everybody wants to be a rapper. You see so many things borrowed from hip hop more things are borrowed from hip hop now than they were ever borrowed. Like everybody's sampling. Everybody's bringing back old hip hop. I'm one of them. But I'm a fan of old hip hop. So I do my I'm not just doing something because it sounds good. But I still feel like maybe you are right about me being like I am a hip hop artist. You are right about me being a hip hop artist. But at the same time, I feel like
you don't want the labels. Box.
I don't want it. Yeah, I don't want that box where it's just, oh, I'm a rapper. Nah, because I can do way more stuff than that. Like I can. But you said I'm a hip hop artist. I said I don't like to consider myself a hip hop artist. I just like to say an artist. Like,
that's why I say this interview was so important.
But look, Prince
is hip hop.
Prince. Oh, but if you ask Prince that, was Prince like? Cause you got rappers like Tyler the Creator that don't like
that's
to be
hip hop.
They don't like to be. Yeah, but why is it hip hop? Cause it's hip hop to you.
No.
Because now if we creating and let's just say for instance an artist is drawing an apple, but that apple means something completely different to him. To a regular person, it's just an apple, but to him it's way more than an apple. Take Tyler Creator. Tyler Creator just put out a body of work. They gave him what was it, hip hop award? It was a hip hop award, right? And he was like, "What do you mean? It's not even a hip hop album. It doesn't even say that on the genre." So I think that we need to
take away the labels.
The label, yeah, just accept what the artist is giving us, as opposed to trying to put a label on the artist's music or his work. Like, don't tell me that my work is this when it's really this, and I made it. Like, you feel me? Like, I get it. If it sounds like something else, maybe you can. That's the only way that you can kind of like finagle it. But sometimes I feel like we just label certain things. Like Ed Sheeran, for instance, he's probably one of the biggest feature artists in the game right now. Like, and they label him as his own community has pretty much kicked him out of his circle. I've heard him say it in mad interviews. Like what's up?
Thank you for walking into my trap.
What trap? Because I can get out of the trap.
Because when I said you are a hip hop artist, you took it as I meant music genre. Remember, this is my definition. You don't have to agree, but this is the basis of the interview. So I wanted to show you something about yourself. Hip hop comes from God. So if it's living, I'm calling you a living God-made artist.
Sure.
See?
He was God-made.
There you go. So as being a person who can do hip hop easily, that means you are inspired and inspiring, because inspiration is what made the light, correct? So by calling you that type of artist, the respect I have from you comes from this. Music is the only medicine that can solve a man's pain without touching him. What does it mean to heal a soul with a song instead of just singing a song to make people dance?
I mean, there's only two ways you can really do a song. It's either you scream it, you sing it, or you kind of rap it, or you put all three of those in one, and now you got a collage. You got a song. That's probably why people get confused as to what genre you are. Sometimes, well, not you, but in general, like, because people mix up. Like myself, sometimes I'll harmonize some things, I'll rap them. I don't yell, but if we talking three different types of ways of, it's only three different ways to do a song if you really think about it. And I mean, unless you're gonna hum it, like I'm trying to think of, like, I'm literally in my head like, am I messing up? Like, it's really only like those couple of ways to do a song. So now, I get what you're saying. Hip hop is, it came from God. I get it. But are we taking the things that we influence from hip hop and we giving that to God too? Because now, if we talking about God, now hip hop is a completely different realm now. It ain't like it was back in the day where it was basketball is my favorite sport. No, it ain't like that now. So can we still associate it with the big man upstairs?
Of course.
Can we still say that's his music?
Of course.
Or can we say that he still plays a part in that music, and we have kind of like, altered and shifted things, because a lot of the things, let's be real, a lot of the things hip hop artists talk about are not always the most positive.
So let me ask you a question. What is the major flaw in any weapon? You don't know?
Any weapon?
Well, any weapon ever made, what is the flaw?
I don't know, jamming?
The only flaw.
I don't know, it not working the way it's supposed to work? Or
Nope, it was made to work. So the only flaw that a weapon ever has is its user. So depending on how we use things will determine how the impact is on people. For instance, let's take your song Python.
Mm-hmm.
Now Python, you talking about the inner man and the love or the feel of something else, correct?
Nah, actually in Python, I'm talking about a shiesty female. I'm actually talking about a female that I actually had to deal with. And I only called it Python because let's just say she had things that had snakes on them or whatever. And it coincided with the fact that she did me dirty and she kind of snaked me.
That's the inner man, correct?
So you. Yeah, okay.
So you can't connect with your audience and give them life unless you lived yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Life comes from God. Experience comes from living.
Mm-hmm.
And when life ends, you transcend back to where you came from. That's why I like the fact that you do music, because most people call themselves musicians or artists and not really making art. They're just making noise.
I agree with that shit 100%. 100%. A lot of people just making noise and not even making sense. That's the title. I ain't gonna hold you. I might have to make that a song.
You got it. Give me credit.
I got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Karev from Heritage Hip Hop, sitting with GM, the two-letter king, God made and God given. And we're going to go into some of his music right now, because not only does he make music that you could dance to, he also talks about family. You have a great song when you talk about your family. Like, I was really feeling that, you know what I'm saying? And the one thing about family that gets lost is people always say their family is the people who hold them down, but we don't really hear people talk about the blood too much. We talk about the human family, but some people don't even talk about their nieces, nephews, cousins type family.
Yeah. See, I get you. That's another thing about labeling too, because like we label family, like we put family as like, all right, you my blood, you my family, but like I have family outside of, I think we need to broaden that term family. Like I feel like family ain't just who got the same blood as you. Like
That's a fact.
family is, your brothers. Like my brother LG on the background. Like feel me, like that's my brother. Like feel me, like like my college boys, like Skull, Jedi. True, I call them Jedi. I can be tight, Dusty. Those are my brothers. Like you feel me, like I feel like we at first it's when we little, family is everything. Like as soon as we get to a point where it's like we start meeting other people, we go to college, we go on our own. Don't get me wrong, I still love my family to death, but there's more family now because I've met people that connect with me in ways that my own family couldn't connect with me in. Like so
That's beautiful.
You got me thinking too much. You got me thinking like.
Welcome to Heritage Hip Hop.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's dope.
What I like about what you said is that that's evolution. That's life.
Mm-hmm.
That's music. Because when you sing for yourself, remember you're singing for yourself. Then when you sing and others hear the self, they'll gravitate towards you. So then you do make a family. You make a community of people who want to hear you speak to them. An MC is a person who can speak to another person's life about their own life, not tell you the perspective of only their life. So in the song that you have, was it 306? Mm-hmm. That song I was able to connect with because the sin of hip hop nowadays is that people will critique you on your song, not knowing that as an independent artist, they're growing with you. Mm-hmm. And to see that side of maturity from you will make a person understand that you're more than a pop a pill, just dance person. You have depth and personality. Why do you think it's important as an artist to give people your depth, not just your talent?
Because they need to connect with you. They need to be able to feel you. Like, if they don't know your story, it's kind of hard to relate to you. Like, they need to be able to relate and connect with you on an emotional level in order to really feel your music. I feel like when you like this artist that like I listen to that I literally will study their background. I watch their movies. Like I'm big on movies. That's one thing I'm big on. Biopics, man. When you got a good biopic, like just for example, NWA, Bobby Brown, and New Edition.
Okay.
The connection that I had after I watched. Now I was always a Bobby Brown, NWA, even the Jacksons. Like that was a movie that really had me really wanting to be what I am right now because I got to see what he went through, and it was like, you know, I can relate with a lot of things. But when you can connect with an artist through their move, like and see what they had to, well, it's easier. I always tell everybody this: it's easier to see things like when they're tangible. Like it's hard to see things like, you know, for instance, I say, yo, this my year. End of the year, I'm gonna be 100 million in. As opposed to me being a million in right now, like feel me, 2, 3, 4 million in, to putting it on the table. Like, listen, I'm gonna be 100 million in. It's hard to see it when you don't really got that vision, and I feel like that's where them biopics come in because a lot of people's story don't get heard because you don't really know the truth. A lot of people back then, we would have never known what happened with NWA and Bobby Brown and Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen. Like, you know, there was a lot of movies that came out where people was like, wow, that's why people's sales go up. Because people connect, they watch the movie and they're like, oh, I didn't even know it was like that. I ain't even know where that, as today, you got Instagram, you got Twitter, you got TikTok, you got Facebook. You got 4 different outlets for you to be able to express your life, and people do it very well. Let's be real, because people put their business out there every day. Yeah. I'm not one of them, but people put their business out there every single day. So it's easier now to express what you're going through, express what's going on in your life.
Life and expression go hand in hand with an artist. I'm gonna ask you this question, since you love the word art. We're gonna go with artists, okay?
Okay.
If life is a stage and everybody plays their part, how do you balance what part you play and how your part affects other people?
How do I balance what part I play and how it affects other people? I would say it don't come overnight. That's something where you gotta stand on the stage night in, night out, and you gotta figure out where you play, what part you play, what role you gonna play, how people gonna, you know, that might take you stepping out of your bubble every now and again. That might take you just being quiet and just listening. You know, if you get up there, you the loudest one from jump, and you the toughest one from jump. You saying everything, you doing all. Now people know what to expect from you, but you don't know what to expect from people. You feel me? Like you don't know what to sit up here. You ain't fill it out. You ain't giving no time. You came out and you gave all your 100 bars right then and then. You ain't do 5 bars here. Then next time, let me see how they feeling it. All right, bet they feeling it. Bet I'm gonna come back with some more. You ain't do that. So I feel like I've been making music since I was 11 years old. I ain't gonna tell you my age now, but let's say I'm up. I got some time on my hands. But you know, that came from me literally seeing what worked, seeing what didn't work, seeing how people grasp to the music, seeing what type of content people would like, even on the gram and on Twitter and Facebook. It's the same thing. You gotta see what your fans like. And I'll tell you right now, my part is I'm not the background. I'm not the help. I'm the boss. You feel me? Like, Salute. Especially at what I do. Salute. I'm the boss. I'm the best. I'm the one I'm the diamond in the rough. Okay. It took me some time to get where I'm at, and it took me time to get here. You know, it didn't happen as fast as it happened for some other people, but that don't matter because I'm still better, and I'm still, you know, I still work harder than 90. I don't want to say 90.
I'll say 90%. I'm gonna say it. Go ahead. I'm gonna say it.
I work harder than everybody.
All right, so check it out. All right, everybody, 100%.
I work harder. I work hard, and I believe in myself. That's the most important thing. I believe in 100,000% that I'm better than everybody that I ever come across musically. I may not be better than somebody else's eyes, but in me, I know what I bring to the table. So,
and it doesn't matter what they think.
That's pretty much my part. Like, you know, I've never been a person that cared about nothing that anybody thought about me.
Okay, so wait, I want to ask you a question since we're talking about parts. Part of living is part expression, part of living is part of experience. Expression and experience come with genius. Are you a genius?
Yes.
Why?
I'm a genius because I can take, you're gonna laugh, but I can take an orange and turn that orange into a full plate of, a full table of fruit. One orange, right in the middle of the table. I can turn that thing into grapes, I can bring the bananas, the pineapples, the apples, I bring everything to the table and make it look neat and make it look presentable. Now, this fruit might be from the dollar store. Fruit might be from what's the store out here?
The Whole Foods?
Not Whole Foods. It's the other one.
ShopRite?
I ain't been to Jersey. I can't even think of the place. It's like, all right, so it's just like taking low brand food. It's like taking no name food, like taking store brand, and turning it into a full course meal. Like that's the advantage I got.
Well, I'm gonna add on to you. What you do or what you learn is not the only thing that makes you a genius. It's the time that you put in. That's the experience. And for you, I can tell you have experienced music in different realms because your versatility speaks to what is said, what is felt, what is spoken, and what is expressed. Tell me about the song This Time and why you wanted to express that on that beat.
I'll tell you the exact day, it was almost 2 days, it was 2 days after my daughter was born. I was about to go to Cali. I was literally, I had just signed a deal with Entourage Music, shout out to them. And I was trying to scrabble, now all my artists know when it's time to go to the studio, you got those artists that have all of these songs, they got 100,000 songs, but there's only 4, 5, 6 that you really want to record right now, right now. So I'm trying to scramble, trying to figure out, and I couldn't feel nothing. I was just I ain't feeling nothing. So I went on Instagram, I put up something I think I said tag your producer, and somebody sent me a beat. They sent me a pack. And I heard the first beat, and it was one of those I'm like, wait a minute, nah, I can't use that one because I know the sample, and I didn't want to go through the hassle. So I clicked the next beat, and then it came on. It was like, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Instantly, I promise you, I wrote that song off of the hook. Came off of my verse, the hook came off the first 4 bars of my verse. That's how I came up with the hook. So I wrote that, recorded it, and I was like it was one of those, yeah, this the one, Mind you, I recorded that, 2 years ago, I think that song was 2 years old, and it's still, it's still going, it's got legs, so, but that song really made me, I don't know, I always wanted to have, a cookout song, cookout vibe. I want something, because I'm big on being able to play music at the right time in the right place, so I need something for the cookout, I need something for the hood, I need something for the ladies, I need something for the teens. I need something for my white boys. You feel me? I need something for my people. It's always, I need different types of, because I get bored quick too, because I listen to my music almost every single day. Just studying, just listening to a little thing. It could be a breath that I took at the wrong time, where it's I sound like I'm out of breath, and I'm like, yeah, I need to fix that. But I'm hearing myself, and I'm seeing the vision of me. Sometimes I listen to my song, This Time, I used to listen to that, and literally picture myself in front of 700,000 fans screaming the same, screaming with it. And when you do that, it kind of brings more energy to the song. I was doing that before I even recorded the song. I knew it was going to be where it was. So, and it still got a lot further to go, but that's what made me really record that song.
I'm using it on Heritage Hip Hop Playlist 11 coming soon, so make sure y'all go to heritagehiphop.com. Make sure you become a member, and members get exclusive music, and that's going to be something exclusively on our playlist. But something that you said kind of sparked something in me, because you said you want to make music for everybody. Nina Simone said, "It is an artist's responsibility to make music that reflects the time that we're living in." In today's time, we have Mitch McConnell calling African Americans not regular Americans, and that's why the voting thing is not important. We have DeSantis saying they want to get rid of woke education, to not teach about the KKK or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in school at all. We have COVID fatigue. We got people being outed for being white supremacists as police, kidnapping young black women, killing young black men, RIP to Ahmaud Arbery and everybody else who's going through this. And the artist, whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, is always put in a place of leadership where people look to the artist to heal the pain. Why, in your opinion, do you think many artists don't step up to that cause to help people heal from the social ills and only deal with the, I need to get high or I need to have some sex type issue? Why do you think that?
Alright, so I had to take my shades off of this one. Alright, so I feel like, one, we put in a bucket where we ain't supposed to know what we're doing. Okay. That's the first and foremost. They think that because, we chose a different route, because even the successful rappers and the successful, I don't want to say singers, because mainly rappers, I know when I tell somebody I'm a rapper or I tell somebody I'm an artist, automatically they paint a picture of me.
Of course.
Automatically they got a perception of me. Automatically they know my story, they know what I went through, they know what I didn't do, they know I didn't go to school, they know that all that's false because I went to school. I got my own situation. I take care of my kids. Shout out to my beautiful babies. I'm not a player. As what technically that's what the ideal rapper is. He talks about bitches and hoes, and he's anti-white man. I'm not anti-white man. I'm not anti-white. At the end of the day, we all one person. I don't agree with what's going on, and I'm not gonna sit over here and act like I don't know what color my skin is. But at the same time, I'm not anti anything because we scream out, we talk about this change thing, but we be the ones that be scared to make it.
Good point.
So I feel like rappers and people that are in music, they're scared to do that. They're scared. One, they're worried about their money so much that they don't even really want to even get involved in that. And everybody knows that once you start getting political, it's hard to get out of that political stage.
Facts.
Look at all the rappers. Look at all the rappers that got trapped in it or by accident. Take the baby.
That was different.
We not talking about. It's not political, but he got himself hemmed up in something that he didn't even know how to control just by him talking on stage. Now imagine somebody giving their opinion on a cop. Now the George Floyd situation was different because that was more of an open spectrum for everybody to chime in. Everybody was chiming in. Everybody was marching. Everybody was talking about it. It was more of an open spectrum for, so people, we felt invited. We felt like we could speak on this. But look at history. You got NWA. They was talking about fucking
the police. Yep.
They couldn't even go perform and go move without getting, harassed and bullied by cops. They were arrested on stage. You got a lot of rappers and singers. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown didn't even really go on stage and do nothing but pick a girl up and dance with her. He was sexual with a girl on stage. They found out. But if you look at it, that's a political thing right there because
of course.
You got the Me Too movement, and at that time it wasn't around. But now you got all this thing. Everything's coming out now. So now you finding out. Now we finding out more things. So I feel like they just need to open up the lane for us. We are smart. I'm a genius.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I'm not just a genius in putting Apple with Snapple. And I mean that by saying rhyming Apple with. I'm not just an artist that can rhyme. I'm smart. I went to school. I know what I'm talking about. Some of these things some of these rappers gotta Google what they rapping about. Some of these rappers gotta Google the spelling of these words, and how to pronounce them. We just gotta stop putting this. I promise you, this podcast should be called Label. Because it's if we didn't have that label, we could speak up. We would feel like, we're targeted. Rappers, especially black, African American male rappers. The women is a whole different story, but the men, we are targeted by cops. We're targeted by, we do one wrong thing. They want to lock us up, throw us in jail. Make an example. because we're influencing their kids to want to be rappers. You know.
But that goes to my point that we made a little earlier about music being the medicine that can either heal or
He set me up.
touch
He
without.
set me up.
Now, that's what a good interviewer does. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean. But see, now that you said that, I'm going to flip what you said and give it back to you and see what you say. Music comes from your expression, right? Mm-hmm. So what makes the most beautiful music? Music made out of pain or music made out of joy?
Ooh, that was a great question. Damn, you giving me song titles. I'm going like, he got me.
Just give me credit, that's all.
I think pain, because joy,
okay,
you're content now. You got, because let's be real, the ultimate goal is wealth and happiness.
Yes.
The ultimate American dream is, you know, big house, picket fence, family, wife, all one mother with the kids. You know, you got one baby mother. You married. You got a job that you love. You happy. Yeah. So, now? Don't get me wrong, but when you hungry, you in pain. Mm-hmm. Let's be real. Physically, when you're hungry, like I'm hungry right now. Mm-hmm. My stomach is growling.
That's the only God people realize.
Okay, so when I'm happy, you know, am I still gonna be as hungry? Because I'm happy now. If I'm happy, we talking about a broad happy. We're not just talking about I'm happy with how today went. We're talking about I'm happy with life. So you're not hungry. You don't have you're not stressing about when your next meal is. You're not trying to put together meals out of nothing. You got everything there, so you shouldn't be hungry. But I don't agree with that too much, because I know when I get happy, when I get to a point where it's like, all right, I don't gotta do nothing else, but you know what? Let me do more. I want to keep that, because I don't want to ever lose that. I work too hard to get where I'm at right now, to lose hunger or to be one of those rappers that they look at like, yo, what happened to him? Like, never. I will never allow myself to be that. And I will put people around me to remind me every day that I need to continue and keep the hunger I got right now. But I feel like the pain brings out it brings out, like when you hungry, you'll say the worst things in the world. I'm one of them. I'll say some, man, when I'm hungry, not right now, but when I'm hungry, man, you're not yourself. You know, you hangry. That's what they call it. They call it hangry. But, so like, I feel like the pain brings out emotion that you might be scared to say while you're happy. It brings out words, and it just makes you think more, because now you're hungry. So you thinking a lot. When you hungry and actual, like, outside of music, when you hungry, you think about everything that comes to your head is about food. You think about all types of food. Everything, you see a commercial, you think you want that. You see, you smell something, you want to go find where it's at. So like, going back to your question, I feel like the pain brings out the best expression in you.
Well, how about this? There's only 3 things people will invest in for the rest of their lives. Food, entertainment, and caskets. You're not going to do anything else with your wealth or your riches or your money or your time. That's all there is. Food, entertainment, and caskets.
So are we putting clothes in?
That's entertainment.
Entertainment, okay.
Because you feel good. You entertain when you look good. Mm-hmm. So check this out. With food, entertainment, and caskets, there's only 2 gods that you recognize in your life. Because believing in the holy God is a choice. You're given free will. But your fleshly life only revolves around your stomach and the grave, how you eat and when you die. So happiness, love, joy is situational, but pain is universal, because that's something everybody can relate to in some time in their life, but everybody doesn't always feel joy. Yeah. And joy is situational. The reason why I think you making music is powerful and purposeful is because you can talk about the pain but give people joy at the end of the song, because you've done it. You can also give people who feel crazy the party atmosphere so they could feel better. So nobody ever told you GM, the 2-letter king, is a doctor of emotion. So while you're doing surgery on the track, you're pulling out the disease in people and giving them joy. So I wanted to salute you for that. Thank you. Now you have a song.
I'm gonna use that little slogan that you just say. We're gonna say
just give me credit.
Give me that. I just need that much. Like I need that little snippet. Boom, boom. I'm gonna put that right at the beginning of the album. They were like, "Oh, you a doctor?"
just give me credit. You know what I'm saying?
What you about to say though?
You made a song. You took an LL Cool J classic and reshaped it. First of all, it takes a lot of guts to do that. So that's why I was impressed to hear the song and like it when so many other people touch older songs and they just completely destroy that shit. So thank you for keeping the integrity of the song.
Gotcha.
But the song is fun and it's a mood changer. There's nothing like a song that can make young kids dance and either get elder people out their seat to dance too. Once again, you're healing the family.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you want to do that song or what inspired it?
One, that's my favorite LL song. Well, let me not narrow it because LL got some, feel me, like.
But let's just say that's your favorite.
That's
What's
my
up?
favorite one. Like I really like that song. Honestly, I remember I was sitting in the living room with my daughter, and I was like, cause I had linked up with my uncle. Shout out to Uncle Boogie, Power 104.9, Kokomo, Indiana. My Uncle Boogie really opened up everything from like we started because my dad and my uncle was like, you know, they grew up, they was doing the music thing, and my dad, you know, he had a family. My uncle kept doing the music thing. He was he was doing things with Guy, Teddy Riley, Blackstreet, not New Jack Swing, Rex and Effects. So he continued to do it. So like when I got to like, you know, I had to work to get to work with him. So he had to see it. Recently, we started working about 4 or 5 months ago. So I was sitting there, he's like, we're gonna put you in the studio. I want you to come up with something that's like original, but I want you to get the old heads, not get the old heads, but he was like, just come up with something. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, man, I never twisted a song before. So I went, I searched Rex and Effects, New Jack Swing first. Listen to that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can twist this. You know, I was like, nah. My daughter was dancing or something like that. She was being too loud, so I couldn't really hear the song. So I told her to turn the thing down. I had accidentally clicked on Jinglin, Baby. It was the next song. Clicked it. I had my headphones on, but they were like the big studio joint, so you can hear it. My daughter sat right next to me. I put the beat on, and listen to the beat. I look over, and she's sitting over there like. And mind you, my daughter's 3 years old. I love my babies, man. My daughter's 3 years old, and she's sitting there. Mind you, the song came out in 1990. End of 89, he probably recorded it in 1990 and came out. My daughter's sitting there with this, looking at me, and I'm like, She like, yeah. Mind you, she don't even know what she's talking about. Right. She just listened to the music because it's in her, because she don't even know that. She knows that her dad do music, but she don't know that she's got that rhythm in her. Like, because I see her all day walk around the house just making songs up. So
there you go.
I sat there, man. I listened to the beat. I didn't even write the song. I just sat there and listened to the beat. I wrote the hook, wrote the little hook, and then I got to the studio. Right. I got to the studio and I finished the entire song in like 10 minutes. It was like 3 verses of like 7 bars or 8 bars. Finished the whole song. I called my uncle. I didn't tell him nothing. I said, I'm going to do an LL joint. Jinglin, baby. He said, ooh, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
He said, you sure you want to do that? I said, yeah, I got this. Let me do it. He said, all right, do it. Did it. Sent him the first take. He was like, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm actually proud. Like he's like, I didn't think that a young dude could do something, especially to that magnitude. Like, you know, dudes is taking little pieces of songs and they throwing them. I took the entire beat, flipped the beat, took the hook, flipped the hook, and just put my own style on it. And I promise you, from there, it has been smooth sailing. Like, that thing took me to Atlanta. I'm gonna go to Cali. I got Texas on my map. Like, it's just taking me places. We about to shoot the video next week in Atlanta, so it's taking me places that I never thought it would take me. And it's kind of like a love-hate thing, because it's like, damn, this ain't my music. Like, you know, it's my music, but I flipped it. It ain't original. And I was always big on that, as, you know, coming out like, yo, I don't want to sample. I ain't gonna sample. Forget sampling. But to be on that record and for me to be able to put it out and, you know, get the approval from L's people and and not have no backlash or it. You know, I'm pretty sure when they, you know, get to a certain point, they're gonna want to do some type of remix thing. But to get to be able to do that, nobody, and I look, and it's crazy because I Googled it to make sure nobody did it. And from what my understanding is, L doesn't like, he's been waiting for somebody to remake that song. Everybody want to do Hey Lover or I Need Love.
Yeah.
They want to, he said that that's the one song and he hates when people request that. So, you know, now it's, you know, I'm already, it's gotten up to Rock the Bells, up to his actual show. So like,
that's dope.
it's getting, you know, it's crazy. I'm just taking everything in because it's different. My parents, you know, my dad is a hip hop fan. You know, shout out to my dad though. He's a big hip hop fan. Probably the reason why I do music. You know, probably the reason why I know all these old school records anyway, because he was a big hip hop fan. And he, every time he see me, he like, man, I can't, you know, Jinglin. He always say that, you know, so it's good to see. I like to be able to make everybody move and not just the young crowd, man. That validation from the old heads, and I don't want to say old heads, but that validation from the old heads goes a long way, man, because y'all started it. Like, you know, I don't want to, I say y'all, like you're old. But yeah, the older generation, they started it. So to get that validation from them, it brings me to a point of like peace where it's like, I'm doing it right. Because I don't care about no validation from the today's generation. I care, but I know I'm ahead of my time.
It doesn't make you, right.
You feel me? Like, so.
Fun fact, that song was a diss song to Kumo D.
I know.
That makes it so much better that LL started the trend where you can make a diss song where people would dance to your some Drake has done marvelously, killing Meek Mill, unfortunately, but it is what it is. No, I'm not. This is your interview. We ain't going there. So, I mean, before we close up the interview and everything, I just want to say, from my perspective to yours, I'm not nobody's fan, really, and keep it real with you. But you are an artist that I will watch. And I congratulate you on not only building your foundation, but not letting outside influences deter you from modeling your building. Because what you're building, shout out to the beats. Truth behind beats on Heritage Hip Hop. Make sure you follow us on YouTube where you can hear some of that good music. But make sure, I want you to make sure that you tell Dad to subscribe to heritagehiphop.com and be sure that you stay your course, because think about this. Everybody judges a man for what he has, but they never, like to your credit on the biopics, we never really look at the journey to appreciate all the scars they had to get to be the great man or woman they were at the end of the journey.
Let me say one thing.
Go ahead.
That's I'm gonna put it on the table, document it. That's one day I'm gonna have that biopic, man. And I promise you, I'm different, I'm weird, so I'll be in my head all day. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm really in my head. But I'll be sitting here thinking like, wow, that's gonna be a moment in my movie. That's gonna be a moment in my movie. This right here is gonna be a moment in my movie. Like I already.
Damn right, because I'm special.
Yeah, I just want to stop. I ain't gonna stop.
Because I'm special.
I ain't
damn
gonna
right.
stop you like that. I gotta get somebody. I gotta make sure I got the fit right. I gotta make sure I got everything on point. The fireplace gotta be in the back. Everything gotta be. But yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Staying my course is really staying genuine. That's my main goal, man. If I'm not genuine and I'm not being myself, then what's the point of doing it? I want to be happy being me, not being somebody else.
So give everybody your social media so they know how to find you and how to get that music.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at 2-Letter King, and YouTube 2-Letter King. That's number 2, letter Letter King. Search me on Apple, Tidal, Spotify, SoundCloud at GM. And just stay in tune, man. I got a lot of things coming soon. I got 2 projects coming. I got a 2000s project, like I'm doing straight 2000s vibes. And I'm doing another EP, all original material. So we working, man. We working.
All right. So with that being said, everybody.
Shout out to Jetty. That's my management, Jetty, and my son LV. Feel me? Y'all ain't see nothing yet, man. Y'all ain't see nothing yet.
All right, shout out to them. but to everybody out there watching, Heritage hip hop does not believe in streaming. So if GM has a song that you like, stream it, to sample it, but if you like it to love it, make sure you purchase it. Because by putting money down, not only are you showing yourself more music, but you're showing the artist credibility and showing that you care that they're putting their art out. I personally don't give a damn about streaming. Y'all can shout that slavery shit out if y'all want to. I don't believe in it.
Yo,
You know
shout out to
what I'm saying?
Heritage Hip Hop, for real. Because we said slavery.
That's it.
Shout out, yo. Got you, man. We gotta do another interview. We got, because I like this, man.
Well,
you're like the only interviewer that really challenged me, made me like think, and I ain't had that in a minute, man.
Well, with that being said, this is the end of the interview and the beginning of the game. You ready to play?
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're going to do the rapid fire questions. These are not yes/no questions. These are questions that talk about you, the person, you, the individual, you, the artist, and the depth of knowledge of the craft that you've chosen, which is music. Are you ready? All right, rapid fire. You ready?
All right.
What artist, album, or song outside of your catalog perfectly describes you?
How quick do I have to answer?
Now.
Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent.
Okay. What is the perfect beat? Meaning, if that person didn't come out with that song, it would have been your first single.
Method Man, Bring the Pain.
Okay. GM is the type of artist that can change the game by doing
Absolutely what he's doing now.
when people look at you, they see greatness. When people hear you, they feel greatness. What is the definition of greatness and how do you live it?
The definition of greatness is just doing what you do best, but doing it genuine. Being your best self is the definition of greatness. Because there's no stamp on greatness. There's no label on greatness.
People who stream are more promoted. People who sell are less promoted, but more successful financially. What do you want, to be streamed or to be bought?
Bought? There's really no price on me, because I'm doing this this is what I love to do. So, of course, I'm trying to make a living off of it. That's different. That's what we're supposed to do. But I would say a little bit of both.
One or the other.
I'm different, so I can pretty much go anywhere I want with the question. I'm standing with both. I can't say we would rather be streamed or I would rather be streamed or bought.
Would you rather have your music streamed or bought?
Both, because you can get paid from both ways. So why
really?
would I say one thing?
Okay, so let me ask you: are you chasing the bag?
I'm chasing the bag, but I'm also chasing the dream.
So then, that's why I said really,
But
because
it's
you
both of them, though.
no, because you are the bag. So you don't chase yourself; you make people come to you.
True, but I'm also a business, so I gotta brand myself correctly.
So if you brand yourself, people will come to you.
I get you. I get what you mean.
All right, so let's go to the next question with this fabulous artist. You started doing music when you were 11 years old, and now you are a man of age. If 11-year-old you asked you how to start his career, what would you tell him?
I would say invest. I would tell 11-year-old me, invest. Make sure you invest. Do not try to get everything for free. Don't, try to take the shortcut. Take the journey and go the path that's before you, and don't try to take these little ins and outs, because then that's going to set you back further. 4
more questions and then we're going to close out. The greatest story ever written is?
Untold.
The one you live. Because only you can dictate your story. Nope. It's the truth. The greatest story ever written is the one that you live. Mm-hmm. That's why the Bible's called the basic instructions before leaving earth. Is an instruction manual for you to live your life. So your story is only written by you. If someone met you, what is the most important chapter in your book up to this point that they should read to know who you are?
Ooh, that's the best question. The day my daughter came into this world.
Why?
Because that was a point where I started living for just me.
All right, cool. Sacrifice. That's the name of the chapter. A daddy's love of sacrifice. Salute to fatherhood. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Amen to that, man.
Number 3. The biggest number ever created was 1. Why do people want to be 1 plus instead of 1 only?
What do you mean 1 plus?
1 and something else instead of just the 1 that they're supposed to be.
I I mean, I don't know why people want to be that. I guess because they see everybody else doing it, it's become a trend. So now everybody else wants to be multiple things. But like I said, I'm an artist, so like I want to be a versatile artist, but I just want to be me. Just straight me. I don't need to be known for. Yeah, I want to dibble and dabble. I like to act. I would like to do, get sponsorships and do all types of things. But the main thing I need people to know me for is music, and that's really all I care about being known for.
Okay, throwaway question. How did you like being on Heritage Hip Hop, and would you recommend us to any other artists?
I loved it. Honestly, this was the most. This interview made me really think and go back in my head, and like you was really challenging me. Like I 10 out of 10. Let's put it that way. 10 out of 10. I would recommend. I'm gonna actually tell some of my homies like, yo, look, you gotta pass a test. You gotta make sure he gotta like you, but at the same time, like you're gonna get a good interview. Like this was a great interview. I want to do it again. Like,
well, you gotta go through him. And most importantly, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to aid in you telling your story, because your story is meant to be told and meant to be heard. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet you, listen to your music, and want to work with you in your music. Heritage Hip Hop is not bougie. So as long as you release music, we have an open door policy. You could come back whenever you want. You don't have to be Billboard's Top 100 to be on this platform. All you got to do is focus on music and make something that I like. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Why you call it Heritage Hip Hop?
Because people are God's heritage. And if hip hop is our culture, then God's heritage is hip hop. Then there you go. So
he's smart. He's smart. I like it.
Last question, and the most important question of the first interview, because like I said, you could always come back. 500 years from now, in the music Hall of Fame, not hip hop, music Hall of Fame, people are going to say, who the hell is GM? And why is his name only 2 letters? What the hell does GM mean? And then they're going to push a red button and your hologram's going to come out of the wall. And then your music's going to be introduced to people 500 years in the future, and they're going to learn who you are. And your digital footprint is going to change the landscape a second time. The most important question I have to ask you is, what is the legacy that you left on the world that made it better because you made music?
I'm going to be that one person that you don't forget 500 years from now. I mean, now, you think about it, we got way more technology and a lot more ways for you to remember things. You don't got to worry about losing our cassette player or losing the cassettes that we had back in the day, or a lot of these people that are forgotten because their material was forgotten. Like their material was either lost, they're not as much of they're not a household name as much as they would want to be. Like now, I feel like you got my 3-year-old child knows who Michael Jackson is. That's a couple of decades now. We're talking about 500 years. I feel like technology will advance itself, and we'll eventually get to a point where they start giving you got to pass some quiz or something to get to get a subscription to Apple Music, or you got to know some things to get to where you go. I mean, probably not, but it's still. I feel like I'm gonna be that change. I'm gonna be that person that everything's just gonna be different. It took me time to get here, but my story is just gonna be different. So.
All right, so with that being said, everybody, make sure that your story is always heard and that your voice is always pronounced, because God did not make you to be put into a box. He made you as a light to shine on the top of a mountain so you could bring everybody to his glory through your art, through your speech, through your words. Remember, the wicked, lazy servant was destroyed because he did not use his talent to bring other people to God and to the world. So make sure you use your talents and you pronounce yourself as you stand on that mountain. This is Karel from Heritage Hip Hop with GM telling you to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Make sure you go to our digital real estate, heritagehiphop.com, become a member for exclusive merch, podcasts, interviews, playlists, and more. And with that being said, we say peace, and we out.
Yo, it's your main man, GM, aka 2-Letter King. Make sure y'all tap into Heritage Hip Hop, man. They got the good news, they got all the history, everything, man. Tap in. And follow me on the gram at 2-Letter King. Peace.
Thank you for watching our presentation. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube family and hit the notification bell for updates. Please like, comment, and share this video.
Real hip hop. Real hip hop. We here.